everybody? My name is Caleb Foltz, also known as CF3. Today I'm sitting down with DeShields, a 6'4", 220-pound quarterback who transferred from Sul Ross State, a D3 in Texas, and Akron, a D1 in Ohio. Let's get into it. First question, what is your favorite sport?
I'd have to say my favorite sport is probably football. Growing up, I played football, basketball, and baseball. I just fell in love with the game of football because of Tom Brady. I grew up watching him play, and just the aspects of the game, the team camaraderie. That's really my biggest thing is being a great teammate, being around the guys in the locker room, out on the field, preparing, each week, going through camp, stuff like that. It just gets me excited. And that's why I chose football to go and play at the next level. So I'd have to say football is my favorite sport.
Describe your football career at West Branch.
It was good. Growing up, I was young, and I was the water boy for many years for the program. I looked up to a lot of the guys that were in the program before me. It's a rich history. Quarterbacks like Steve McNeely, who played here, Matt Rycraft, Ben Swallow, Jeff Morris, all those guys, set the foundation for the program, and I just looked up to that. And when I became a quarterback in 8th grade, I had my goals was to be, just as good and better than those guys were, and carry on that tradition at West Branch. And, I think it turned out pretty good. It started out really good with success and then kind of dwindled down near the end of my career there, but they've picked it back up recently. And, we're going for our 3rd league title this year in a row. So the tradition's rich, and I'm just grateful to be a part, of West Branch football history, and have a tradition like that to lean back on as well. I go to the games on Fridays, and I still, support the team and, help them when I can. And, I'm glad to see they're having success on the field as I left.
How do you feel the expectations were in terms of sports growing up into adolescence with your dad being a pro baseball player?
I kind of got into it, I'm team first. Both my parents are coaches, and they preach that a lot. Be selfless in what you do, put everything you have into it and be selfless and be a great teammate. When others have success, support them. And hopefully when you have success, they'll support you too and encourage you. And also when your teammates aren't, performing at the level they should be performing at, is, encourage them, coach them up, get on them, whatever they need, by understanding, your teammates on a deeper level than just on the field and what they're good at. Getting in a personal relationship with your teammates, I think, goes a long way. And that's something that both my parents, not just my father, but my mother as well, have taught me. Me and my mom have a quote from the Bible. It's Matthew 23:12. Those who humble themselves will be exalted. Those who exalt themselves will be humbled. So I've always taken that mindset, whether I have great success or, I'm failing. I always try to stay humble, positive, and encouraging towards my teammates. And that's something that both my parents have taught me growing up, from a young athlete even till today.
What were your offers out of high school?
So I didn't have a lot of offers out of high school. I wasn't highly recruited. So my first real option was, I had an opportunity to go visit Syracuse. They had offered me a preferred walk-on. I didn't have a good enough ACT score to get in there, so that kind of dwindled away. And then a couple weeks later, Akron had called me and told me that they wanted me to, come and visit, and they were going to offer me a preferred walk-on as well. I went and visited, and things weren't really moving fast. I had a goal of playing Division I football. A lot of schools in the OAC and D2 schools in Ohio were reaching out to me, but nobody was really serious. And Akron just seemed like the right fit for me and what I wanted to accomplish and my goals, and aspirations of playing Division I football. So it took a little over a week. I sat down and weighed the pros and cons, and ended up choosing Akron, which looking back was a good decision in my mind. It taught me a lot about myself. Going from one of the top players in high school and in the area to going to the University of Akron, where everybody there is a top player in their area, top player in their school, and it kind of I don't want to say humbled me, but it kind of refocused my work ethic and my desire to compete at a high level. And I think that was, looking back, was something that I cherish about my time at Akron.
In the 2020 season against Buffalo, early in the third quarter, down a good bit of points, your starting quarterback gets hurt. What was your mindset when your number was called on?
Just the same mindset I took into every game. As a backup, you have to prepare like you're the starter, because you never know, when your number is going to be called on, and you're one play away. So you always have to prepare like you're the starter, and I think that was the biggest thing. I wanted to go in there. I wanted to execute the plays that were called. I wanted to give my team an opportunity, to drive the ball down the field and put the ball in the end zone, which we ultimately did. I got a couple series there, and we ended up scoring on one of them. One thing I wasn't happy with was the end of the game. I threw an interception to end the game, but we were down by a lot of points, and I tried to force a ball, and that was one thing I regret from that game. But just going in and executing, keeping my head up, playing positive, being positive, being encouraging to my teammates, whether they're making mistakes or good plays. So that was one thing that I took going into that game when my number was called on.
You finished your Akron career only playing in 5 games, completing 10 of your 24 attempts for 76 passing yards. Following being a big role in Akron scout team, what was your mindset entering the portal?
My first year at Akron, my mindset was, give the defense the best look I can get and improve myself and improve my game, along with trying to help my teammates improve as well. And then, the following year I became the second string quarterback. I only played in 5 games, so I didn't play a lot. But I prepared like I was going to play every week. And entering the portal, I just wanted to find a place that would use my skill set to my advantage, use the way I played, and mold an offense around me and the game and style that I play. And that was really my mindset entering the portal. I wasn't really focused on, what level of play it was going to be, whether it was Division I or Division III. I was more focused on, going to a place that wanted me and wanted to use my skill set, to improve their program and ultimately, have success on the field.
How did you end up at Sul Ross State?
So early in the portal, it was really slow. Didn't get a lot of, texts and emails and phone calls. So I was kind of sitting around, sending out a lot of emails, trying to get people to, bite on taking me and take a chance on me. And I ended up getting a little bit of contact with Valparaiso, and they kind of backed out on me as they got another commit that was higher up on their board in the transfer portal, and they had connections to Sul Ross State with some of the coaching staff, and Coach Barry Derrickson called me and told me he wanted me, and that I was going to be, a player that they thought was going to be a top player in their program and wanted to build the offense around me and the style of play that I had. And it was getting really late. I think it was in July when they had called. And I ended up going down there in August, and, I ended up staying down there. So that's how I ended up at Sul Ross.
Give me the game situation where you had a 49-yard punt that landed on the 1-yard line.
So we were playing Texas Lutheran, and we just got in a situation where it was kind of no man's land. We couldn't really throw out our punt team, and we didn't want to go for it at the time, just with the game situation. So we had put in a shotgun punt just to have it in our back pocket, and we ended up using it. I did it in high school, so I was used to it. So I put a good kick on it, and I don't know how it stopped at the 1-yard line, but it did. And thank goodness there was somebody down there to pick it up when it did.
Your 2 years at Sul Ross State, your record as a starter was 4-9. In 13 games, you went 211 on 357 attempts with 2,439 passing yards, completing 59% of your passes. You also threw for 20 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. Based off that, what was your mindset after the 2022 season?
My mindset was confidence. I performed well down there. We didn't have the wins. Their program had struggled a little bit prior to me getting down there. And, my mindset going down there was to just, try and help their program excel and have success on the field. And we went from my first year down there in 2021, we went 1-8, to my second year down there in 2022, we went 4-6. So we had more wins. We had more success on the field, which was great to see. I love all those guys down there, and I'm glad they're having success too. They just won yesterday on a field goal. They won 37-34, so I'm glad they're having success down there. And that was really my mindset, was just, help them, have success, help guys on the team find their path and find their role, and expand their role, and then, expand my confidence as well in myself and my ability.
Why did you enter the portal again?
I graduated. I just didn't feel like I wanted to stay down there and do another master's program. I really didn't know what I was going to do academically. Being away from home for 2 years was tough. Not having family. My parents came to one game in 2 years, and then I had my aunt and uncle came to another game. So out of the 20 games I played in 2 years, my family only came to 2 of them. So I was trying to, come back closer to home so my family could watch me as I'm finishing up my career in college. And that's really why I entered the portal for a second time.
Why did you choose Mount Union?
Mount's close to home. They have a great tradition, great history of success. And, I wanted to push myself to become a better, quarterback, a better person, a better athlete, and just expand my knowledge of the game. And having Coach Karras on the staff as coaching the quarterbacks, what better place to be than Mount Union with a legendary coach there coaching you, expanding your knowledge, pushing you to get better every day, and we're having success on the field. When you get later in your career, you really throw all the individual statistics out of the way, and playing time it's all gone. You're worried about team success, team winning, and they do that here, and that's why I chose Mount Union. Was program tradition, legendary head coach to learn from, and he spent many years coaching many different athletes, and then program success.
What was your first impression coming into Mount Union?
Just the competition level. Everybody here is a good player. You got to show up every day. You got to give your best every day. And that's really the biggest thing I got when I first came here. Was it's not going to be easy, and you got to show up every day, and you got to compete at the highest level.
What's the jump/difference between Ohio high school ball from D1 Group of 5 FBS to Division III in Texas, and then to now a nationally ranked Division III school?
I'd say the biggest thing is probably just talent. Division I, there's a lot of talented guys. Everybody's big, fast, and strong there. It's the Division I level is very different, and I think that's something that I learned when I went there to start. Was there is a lot of great athletes and great football players in the country, and going from there to a Division III school in Texas. Texas football is something special. They take their football very serious down there. Everything is football oriented, and it kind of rejuvenated my understanding of what football means to a lot of people across the country. And then coming to Mount Union, a nationally ranked D3 school in Ohio, close to home. Again, the talent level, the amount of talent we have on the team, and the amount of work that these guys put in and day out to ultimately, achieve their goal at the end of the year.
Would you call yourself a college football journeyman, and how does that make you reflect on your overall career?
I don't know if I'd say a journeyman, but I have been to 3 different schools over a 6-year period, and I think it's just been, I've been trying to find the right fit for me. I've got degrees from 2 of the 3 schools so far, and I'm working on my 3rd degree. So I wouldn't say journeyman, but I have been all over the place. Just reflecting on my career, I've enjoyed it. I don't regret anything in any decisions I've made. I live each day like it's a new day. I look forward to the next day. I look forward to getting better every day and being around, great people, great coaches that are pushing me to be the best that I can be, especially my teammates. When you're out there and you might be struggling and your teammates are there to pick you up. That's the one thing that I've learned from hundreds of teammates that I've had over my 6-year career so far, and then I'm going to carry that into my future when I become a team member of some sort, whether it's an organization or coaching or whatever my future holds. But I'll carry that encouragement that my teammates gave me and I gave back to them, and just having that relationship and bond with one another out on the field and on the practice field and in the locker room.
What are your aspirations for this season and next season finishing up your college career?
I think just win. That's my biggest aspiration. I just want to win football games. I want to compete, to be able to win and have success. And at this point in my career, I'm really only focused on winning, and that's what I'll be focused on for the rest of this season and next season as well.
What was the most memorable game you played in?
I'd say the most memorable game I played in, I have a couple. I didn't play in the game, but going to the University of Illinois and experiencing what Big Ten football is and the atmosphere of that was exceptional. And then I'd say the most memorable game when I played at Sul Ross was throwing a game-winning touchdown with 12 seconds left in the game to beat Texas Lutheran 12-10 and get our only win of the 2021 season.
Who's your biggest role model?
I said it earlier in the interview, and watching Tom Brady grow up, that was my biggest role model. I just wanted to be, everything that he was, and watching him and the way he competed day in and day out in the NFL and professionally. It's just something I've aspired to be, and I've taken a lot of things that he's done and said to heart, and I try to apply those to my career as well and my mindset towards the game of football.
Since you have played for 3 different programs now, what is the most valuable lesson college football has taught you?
The most valuable lesson is just being a great teammate. It's the easiest thing you can do because it takes no skill, it takes no effort. But being a great teammate, every single day you show up to the facility is something that you can take, and I think it fuels the entire team. And I think people feed off of great teammates. So if you're positive and you're pushing guys to get better every day and encouraging them when they're succeeding and encouraging them when they're failing, I think that just feeds the other people, and they see it and they feel it, and I think they pass it along to somebody else, and it's very contagious. And I think that's just the biggest thing and the most valuable lesson that football has taught me over my career so far.
What advice would you give younger you?
Just stick with it. I think I wish I would have, worked a little harder, pushed myself a little further. went to places that I didn't think I could reach. And that's the biggest thing I'd tell myself. And I started to learn it as I went along. You know, my third year at Akron, I got with a wide receiver named Boogie Knight, and he really pushed me and pushed my game forward. And I owe him a huge thanks. We still talk to today. He plays in the X League in Japan as a professional. And this past summer we were throwing routes all summer, and he's pushing me to get better. And I owe a huge thanks to him. And he was really the person that I needed when I was a freshman and went to college. And I didn't get to know him until my third year, and we didn't become close until my third year at Akron. But if he would have been there when I first went to college, I think, I would have grasped that concept of work ethic and what it takes to be great early on in my college career.
What are your future plans after your college football career is over?
I'd love to, play professionally if the opportunity presents itself. If not, I'm looking to get into coaching. The more I've played college football and the more I've been around different teams, the more I want to get into coaching and help younger athletes like I once was get to the places they want to be and have the success that they envision and they dream about. And that's one thing I've wanted to do the more I've played college football, and I think it's becoming reality as I get closer to finishing my career.
And last question, what advice would you give kids who aspire to play college football?
The biggest piece of advice is, stick with it. Most kids don't find success when they first enter college. Most kids find themselves on scout team. They find themselves lacking development and lacking knowledge of the game. So getting in the weight room, getting with your coaches, expanding your knowledge of the game, getting bigger, stronger, faster are two huge aspects that will propel your success in your future years of playing college football. And I think when you take scout team like it's your Super Bowl and it's something that means something to you, because that is a way to get the coach's attention. And then for everybody really but quarterbacks is finding a way on special teams. Find a special teams unit that you can get on and excel in that special teams unit, because once the coaches can trust you to go out and perform on special teams, that means that they're probably going to trust you to go out and perform on an offensive or defensive unit.
Playing for 3 different programs is no easy feat. TJ has experienced college football at multiple levels and has brought it here to Mount Union. TJ is our backup quarterback this year, but expect him to be competing for a starting job in the 2024 season. I appreciate your time, TJ. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, thank you. I appreciate you doing this and getting my story out there and my experiences I've had over the 6 years that I've played college football, and I really appreciate sitting down and talking to you about it today.
Absolutely. Catch y'all boys next time. Peace.
Sure does flip it out. Wow, nice play by DeShields on that.